Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, we have a wide array of topics to hit. Prince Harry presented an award and left everyone starstruck, even the recipient of the award. And we're gonna look at the video and I'm gonna give my thoughts at the end. And then he racked up yet another win. His brother across the pond is being racist yet again, and we still have more to talk about. So let's get started. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you haven't already, feel free to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up button. Share if you would like more people to find the channel, and don't forget to leave your commentary in the comment section or in the live chat. So today, we have a lot to talk about, but I want to start off on a high note. So let's talk about Prince Harry presenting an award. Today, I'll be reading from CNN.com, and the title of this article is Prince Harry Makes Surprise Appearance at NFL Honors Ceremony in Las Vegas, Leaving Players Starstruck. And some of us too, because a lot of us didn't know he would be there. This article was written by Ben Morse for CNN. That is such a cute photo. Oh, that is adorable. Prince Harry left players starstruck after making a surprise appearance at the NFL Honors Ceremony in Las Vegas on Thursday. To the shock of many, the Duke of Sussex was introduced onto the stage to announce the winner of the NFL's Man of the Year award. Before he announced the award's recipient, Harry took the time to take some humorous jabs at the differences between American and British sports. Quote, "I really love how you stole rugby from us and you made it your own," he said with a smile. "Instead of passing it backwards, just passed it forwards. Why not wear pads and a helmet? Of course have an offense and defense. That makes sense. And why not take a breather every 15 seconds? And you know what? Instead of a 10-month season, let's just make it 18 weeks. Genius." That was a really good speech. However, he was keen to stress the importance of the award he was handing out. Quote, "All kidding aside, what you guys do on and off the field is truly remarkable. You are role models for millions in the way you carry yourselves and the way you give back. This final award, the highest honor, is all about serving your community, and there is one special man we'd like to pay tribute to now." The eventual winner of the Man of the Year award was Pittsburgh Steelers defensive tackle Cameron Heyward, and the 34-year-old couldn't quite believe who he was sharing the stage with. Quote, "Oh man," Heyward said on stage, "Man, Prince freaking Harry. Man, I'm in shock. That's Prince Harry." He did say that, and honestly, reading it, it doesn't convey how in shock he was, but it was so adorable. The whole thing was adorable, even seeing his family in the crowd, and they were tearing up too. Ooh, it was a sweet moment. But anyway, let me keep reading. The Man of the Year award goes to the NFL player who excels on the field and also demonstrates a passion for creating a lasting positive impact beyond the game in the community. The award was established in 1970. Wow. Quote, "I continue to keep doing the work as I will. This award is great and I appreciate it, but I understand I've got more work to do," Heyward said. "I've got to make sure I represent this man every day going forward. And so I ask you guys, my brothers, keep doing the work, keep being the positive role models you are. I know it's not always pretty. I know a lot of people like to talk about the other stuff, but you guys are the change. You guys are making a difference, and I'm just thankful for that."
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex.
Good evening, NFL. It's an honor to be with you all tonight. I really love how you stole rugby from us, and you made it your own. Instead of passing it backwards, just pass it forwards. Why not wear pads and a helmet? Of course, have an offense and defense. That makes sense. And why not take a breather every 15 seconds? And you know what? Instead of a 10-month season, let's just make it 18 weeks. Genius. All kidding aside, what you guys do on and off the field is truly remarkable. You are role models for millions in the way you carry yourselves and in the way you give back. This final award, the highest honor, is all about serving your community. And there's one special man we'd like to pay tribute to now. A player who goes above and beyond and whose extraordinary commitment to helping others is a reflection of his own story. Please welcome the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Cam the Man Heyward.
Oh, man. Man, Prince freaking Harry. Man, I'm just shocked. That's Prince Harry. First of all,
I did see a lot of people questioning, what did Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, have to do with the NFL? And it's important to recognize what award he was giving out. This is the Man of the Year award, and that actually highlights off-field activities pertaining to community work, which could be charity, mentorship, working with foundations. What are you doing to enhance and progress the community? And that's something that Cameron Heyward has actually shown himself to be very keen in. As a matter of fact, in 2023, early on in the season, he won the Daniel M. Rooney Champion of Mentoring Award, and that's presented by the Mentoring Partnership. So obviously he has a very long history with mentoring and charity and community work. You can actually see this on the Pittsburgh Steelers website, where they have a slew of photos of Cameron Heyward in the community. Now, it's important to note that because Prince Harry presented the award, not only is Prince Harry a man of status, but he's also a man of service. He's the person who coined the phrase, service is universal. So obviously, one half of the duo who coined the phrase. So obviously he would be first of all, a very lucky get to present the award. So I'm glad they were able to get him to present that. But it actually makes sense. It's very much in alignment because Prince Harry is a man of service. And this is actually what his entire field of work has been focused on, is economic growth and progress, humanitarianism, and service. So it's important to note that because no, Prince Harry does not play football or American football, but he is known to be very athletic. He is known to be a man of sports. He was a patron of many different sports when he was in the UK, but also he is a man of service. And that is actually what this award is focused on. So I thought it was actually a really great fit. And it was even better to see Cameron Heyward's reaction. So what did you think when you saw Cameron Heyward's reaction? And do you watch football? Now, I've told y'all before, I'm not a big sports fan. If I'm watching sports, it's definitely basketball. But on my other channel, SharionSade Says, I was talking about football in one of the videos because of the show Ballers. But yeah, that's about the extent of my interest in football goes. So what did you think about the presentation? What did you think about both speeches? Cameron Heyward gave a very moving speech, and Prince Harry gave an excellent speech as well. And super quick, before we leave the topic, I wanted to share this Instagram photo that was shared by Kevin Mazur. Now, he posted this yesterday or last night, and he captioned it, "It was great seeing you again, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex at NFL Honors. Hope to see you soon." So obviously, I've never heard of Kevin Mazur. So obviously I was like, now who are you, Mr. Kevin? So here is who Kevin is. Kevin is a photographer, a director of the show Celebrity on Amazon, and he also does prints and bookings. So if you want great photos with Kevin Mazur, feel free to check it out. Now, obviously, since I'm talking about him, I wanted to share his Instagram where you can find the photo. And while there, here's the photo here. It's only got 770 likes. That means some of the squad hasn't woken up yet. It'll be at 1 million in a minute. While I was there taking a look at this photo, look what else I found. Kevin Mazur keeps good company. He's got Beyonce and Jay-Z, Celine Dion, Usher. I don't know who those people are. Let's see, Cher, so Adele. So obviously this man is connected, and right at the top is our one and only Duke of Sussex. So if you want to check out the photo, again, you can go to @KevinMazur on Instagram and follow him. I told y'all I didn't just have one bit of good news. I actually have a few bits of good news. Mirror Group Newspapers has agreed to pay Prince Harry an additional $500,000 in damages to settle the royals' claims against the British tabloid publisher. So of course, if we're going to be talking about money, I went straight to Forbes. This article is titled, "Prince Harry will get $500,000 in tabloid phone hacking settlement." This article was written by Ty Roosh. Mirror Group Newspapers has agreed to pay Prince Harry an additional $500,000 in damages to settle the royals' claims against the British tabloid publisher, according to multiple reports, ending a 4-year dispute between the Duke of Sussex and the Mirror Group after alleging the publisher hacked his phone several times. There were several other accusations in there as well, but I know Forbes is just trying to get to the money. So here's a timeline of events. David Sharion, Harry's attorney, told the UK's High Court that the Mirror Group agreed to make interim payments to Harry totaling £400,000, which is roughly $504,142, to settle his claims against the publisher. Harry's phone was targeted by the Mirror Group several times between 2003 and 2009. Justice Timothy Fancourt ruled in December, indicating at least 15 articles published by the outlet were based on information gathered by extensive hacking of his phone or other unlawful information gathering. And we covered that. A spokesperson for the Mirror Group told The Guardian the publisher was, quote, pleased to have reached this agreement, which provides its business further clarity to move forward from events that took place many years ago. It really bothers me when people cannot just simply apologize, admit fault, and move on. I don't think they realize just how bad that makes you look. If it did happen many years ago and you no longer employ those practices, then what is wrong with saying, we have grown since then? That isn't something we would do today. And I'm really ashamed that that's something that occurred. And I am more than happy to make this right. People need to learn how to apologize, because not only is it just not right to not apologize correctly or take accountability, but it also looks really bad on you. It also deploys a lot of mistrust from people around you when you have trouble owning up to what you've done. It implies that you really don't understand what you did wrong, or if you do understand, in some way you think there's an exception for you. All of which employ a lot of mistrust to those around you. So while Mirror Group is withholding a proper apology, that doesn't look bad on anyone else other than them, further escalating the whole issue at hand. So if it were my client, or if it were my affiliate or whatever, I would say we need to make a statement that indicates we understand that what happened before is wrong, and that moving forward, we do not, nor will we ever deploy such practices again, and we are more than happy to make this right. That actually reinstates a little bit of trust in you, or at least at the end of the day, it shows that you have grown from that place. If you're still holding on to, I did it because, or if so long ago, why are you mad about it? If you're still being petty in your response, it shows that you really don't have a full understanding, or in some way you feel like there should be an exception, neither of which provide a lot of confidence for other people. Just some tips. If you want to make it right, make it right. $684,000. That's how much Mirror Group Newspapers will pay Prince Harry after the UK's High Court ordered the publisher to pay Harry's $180,000 in December. Everything we said was, quote, everything we said was happening at the Mirror Group was in fact happening, and indeed far worse, as the court ruled in its extremely damaging judgment, Sharion said, adding that they had uncovered and proved the shockingly dishonest way the publisher acted. And again, being that they are still withholding their apology, they do, or at least withholding accountability, they do seem like they don't really understand what they did was wrong, and that they're probably doing it in another way that's a little bit more evasive. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying, if you have trouble admitting fault, especially from something so long ago, why not just call it out? Where there is truth to be shared, the Byline Times are in the mix. So I'll be reading this article written by Dan Evans. Now, he is one half of the duo who conducted that 3-year investigation into Dan Wooten and has been presenting us with the information and evidence from that investigation. But he wrote this article titled, Prince Harry Demands Piers Morgan Police Probe as Shockingly Dishonest Mirror Pays Out Again Over Hacking. Substantial evidence of criminal behavior and cover-up at the Mirror Group newspapers emerged last summer at trial. Dan gets right to the point. I really appreciate Dan the man and Tom Latham. Prince Harry has won another big payout to settle his phone hacking case with the publisher of the Daily Mirror and repeated calls for former editor Piers Morgan to face criminal investigation. I agree. It came as High Court Judge Mr. Justice said that Morgan's former employers, Mirror Group Newspapers, MGN, has been shockingly dishonest for concealing endemic wrongdoing at the Daily Mirror, Sunday Mirror, and Sunday People tabloids between 1996 and 2011. It follows a comprehensive courtroom victory for the Duke of Sussex in December, in which Justice Fancourt found that there could be, quote, no doubt Mr. Morgan, the Daily Mirror's editor from 1995 to 2004, knew about his newspaper's hacking and habitual unlawful use of private investigators. On Friday, MGN agreed to pay the prince an undisclosed sum in respect of 115 articles over and above the £140,000 he received last year for distress and invasion of privacy relating to 15 other illegally obtained stories. During the trial, it was heard that MGN was spending up to £925,000 a year on illegal snooping, targeting thousands of people of interest to the editors of MGN's 3 titles. Lawyers for the prince read a statement outside court in which he claimed a famous win and, focusing on Morgan, who did not defend himself at trial but attacked the judgment from his doorstep, called for the rule of law to be upheld. The prince said, quote, after our victory in December, Mirror Group have finally conceded the rest of my claim, which would have consisted of another 2 trials, additional evidence, and 115 more articles. Everything we said was happening at Mirror Group was in fact happening, and indeed far worse, as the court ruled in its extremely damning judgment. As the judge has said this morning, we have uncovered and proved the shockingly dishonest way the Mirror Group acted for many years and then sought to conceal the truth. In light of all this, we call again for the authorities to uphold the rule of law and to prove that no one is above it. That includes Mr. Morgan, who as editor knew perfectly well what was going on, as the judge held. Even his own employer realized it simply could not call him as a witness of truth. His contempt for the court's ruling and his continued attacks ever since demonstrate why it was so important to obtain a clear and detailed judgment. As I said back in December, our mission continues. I believe in the positive change it will bring for all of us. It is the very reason why I started this and why I will continue to see it through to the end. Ooh, I know they had a pang of fear in their backs. He clearly said, I'm coming for you. Y'all better just come on forward. Just face the music. Don't make him come get you, because he will find you. In its most recent statement on the matter given to Byline Times last week, the Metropolitan Police said it was continuing to consider the content of Justice Fancourt's 386-page ruling before deciding whether to reinitiate criminal inquiries into Morgan. Morgan was first interviewed in February of 2014 over phone hacking by Scotland Yard's Operation Golding. Despite Golding's discovery of significant evidence and the prospect of securing multiple former staff as witnesses against the company and heavy expenditure of public resources on Golding, former Director of Public Prosecutions Alison Saunders decided in 2015 that there was insufficient prospect of winning a conviction in any of 10 potential cases against MGN employees. However, substantial evidence of criminal behavior and cover-up at MGN emerged last summer at trial, during in which Justice Fancourt found endemic unlawful information gathering went on at MGN's 3 national newspapers between 1996 and 2011. At trial, former Mirror journalist Omid Scobie gave evidence that he heard Morgan being told a story about the singer and actress Kylie Minogue was sourced from a voicemail. It also heard from former New Labour Downing Street Communications Director Alastair Campbell, who, according to the judge, gave compelling evidence that illegal techniques were used by the Mirror to obtain details of his mortgage. Now, why would they even need that? Just nosy for no reason. In addition, Melanie Cantor, an agent and publicist for the presenter and columnist Ulrika Johnson, said that Morgan always seemed to be the first person to know about events that had recently happened involving her clients, and that invoices and phone records demonstrated that she had been repeatedly hacked by Morgan's Mirror reporters. The judge concluded that sensitive information was passed to Mr. Morgan, who must have known how it had been obtained. The judge ruled that other key MGN figures, some of whom now hold senior roles at other organizations, were aware or likely aware of illegal activity, including Richard Wallace, now Piers Morgan's boss at Murdoch-owned Talk TV. I got an update on that, but let's continue. And Neil Wallace, former editor of The People, who in 2015 was acquitted of phone hacking charges relating to his time as deputy editor at the News of the World. Others include Morgan's Mirror deputy editor Tina Weaver, for whom he advocated in 2001 to become Sunday Mirror editor. We talked about that over on Patreon. Morgan's former features editor Mark Thomas, and Sunday Mirror and the People's senior editors Nick Buckley and James Scott, the journalist who handed Morgan one of his biggest Mirror scoops hacked straight from the voicemails of former England football manager Sven-Göran Eriksson and television presenter Ulrika Jonsson. The Duke of Sussex's call for action from the authorities followed a bruising day for MGN, in which it was ordered to meet the claimant's cost of £1.9 million as they demonstrated that MGN had orchestrated a cover-up of illegality involving some former board members and the legal department, which the judge described as shockingly dishonest. Justice Fancourt also rejected an application to appeal against his decision to apply limitation laws to some phone hacking cases, which gave claimants a 6-year countdown to bring legal action from the time at which they reasonably ought to have believed they had been wronged. However, the matter relating to the Duke's co-claimants, actress Nikki Saunderson and former wife of comedian Paul Whitehouse, Fiona Whiteman, will now be referred to the Court of Appeal directly for a decision on whether the judge's findings merits review. Now, again, Dan Evans is a former employee of MGN and a witness for the claimants in Sussex and Oars versus MGN. Speaking of Piers Morgan being a host on Talk TV, that is no longer the case, as he left Talk TV to focus on YouTube? Let's talk about it. Okay. You heard me right. Piers Morgan is now on YouTube, and he has actually left Talk TV, a televised hosting gig, to focus on YouTube. Does that sound true? I'm going to be honest. I don't know the man. He hasn't talked to me, so I can't say whether it's true or not. But me personally, I don't shovel shit, and I'm not going to shovel his. That doesn't sound true at all. It sounds like he got fired and they allowed him to control the narrative out of respect. That does not sound true. I could be wrong. He could literally be like, these ad dollars are racking up, bitch, and he could be wanting to come over here. What is he going to get next? An OnlyFans? Like, listen, I am a YouTuber. This is a very fun hobby for me, and my channel is monetized. So obviously I enjoy doing what I'm doing because I do it. There's nothing wrong with being a YouTuber. My question is, if hosting is what you want to do, and you go from working for the biggest networks in the world, being an editor of several newspapers, why would you then go to YouTube? I feel like YouTube, if hosting is where you want to go, I feel like YouTube and other platforms such as this are a great step ladder to those places on the up and up though. But I do think once you've reached a certain peak in that industry, to be on YouTube after everything says a lot as well. I think it shows that the descent is actually happening. So if I were to get a gig with ITV, I would never want that because I don't want to be a television host. But if I were to ever get a gig with ITV, Talk TV, CNN, Good Morning America, and you saw me here on YouTube, you would actually see that as a what? An ascent. You would be like, whoa, she went from YouTube to this. Kind of how we said Issa Rae went from YouTube to HBO, which is huge. And now Netflix, like that's big. Several creators have gone from YouTube to have huge careers because it's a step ladder up. So when you're on your ascent, it's a positive thing. But if Issa Rae were to have started with a show on HBO, and now her show is on YouTube, it would be seen less as now it's on YouTube and more as it's been relegated to YouTube. Now, YouTube is an excellent platform, but I do find it to be interesting that the announcement was just made that Piers Morgan is now coming to be on YouTube exclusively after having jobs at CNN and Talk TV. He's on YouTube exclusively, and many content creators of pro-Sussex channels have been experiencing a lot of unfair treatment on the platform. Is it possible, again, I don't know, I'm asking the question, is it possible that the platform have been preparing for his position here on YouTube and have been trying to rid the positive Sussex channels so that he has more space and freedom to reign? Is that what's going on? Because I have noticed a ramp up in the mistreatment of myself and this channel. I told y'all I have been getting hit with copyright crap for the full 3 years I've been on YouTube, and recently it culminated in harassment, which is why I have the petition linked below if you want to sign it, asking YouTube to employ safer messaging practices and a secure encrypted messaging tool so that when they're settling disputes between creators for any reason, but including copyright, they don't share our personal emails and addresses. But all of us have been getting hit pretty hard with these random issues, only to find out Piers Morgan is now going to be taking up space on the platform exclusively. Is it possible that they're trying to rid pro-Sussex channels from the platform to make room for him? Is it possible that they want to discredit some of the channels that are here to call out misinformation? And Piers Morgan specifically, is it possible they're trying to make space on the platform so that he doesn't have as many outcries, that he doesn't have as much pushback or as many challenges? Because I can assure you, in the same way that we were reading his ass down for what he said and did on Talk TV, we will read his ass down here on YouTube. It's not going to change. So is it possible they were trying to give him more comfort? Is that something that he requested? I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. I don't talk to the man, and I wouldn't talk to that trout mouth person. But at the end of the day, what was the reason for treating pro-Sussex channels like that? Where have all these new waves of trolls been coming from? Why have they been getting past our security measures? I have blocked certain words, and those words are now still popping up in my comment section. How is that possible? I have bans on certain words in my comment section, particularly the name of one heinous person, and I banned and blocked his name. You cannot say the word hit ... lur in my comment section, as well as several other names for not C's. And you can't say those words and those names in my comment section yet. Lo and behold, suddenly they're getting by. How? So there is something afoot with the platform, and I knew I wasn't crazy when I was saying something is off. It really does feel like we're being encouraged to leave this platform. I have actually gotten the recommendation to move over to Vimeo, and once I understand the monetization process over there, maybe that's the move. But I'm not going to let that trout run me off of YouTube. We are absolutely not going to be antagonized while we take up space on this platform that we make money for. And so when I found out that he was actually going to be exclusively on YouTube, everything started to make a little bit more sense. I'm interested in your opinion on that, because it is seeming very strange that the pro-Sussex channels, some of which have existed for 5, 6, 7 years, are suddenly getting hit so hard. At least I can say I've only been in existence for about 3.5 years. Half of the first year, I wasn't even talking about Sussex things. And I'd never been in more positive standing with YouTube. And ever since I started covering Harry and Meghan, it seems like it has been an uphill battle to talk about certain things. So I do find it to be quite the coincidence. Let me read this article from The Guardian so that I can bring everybody up to speed. And in the meantime, let me know what you think in the live chat and in the comment section. Piers Morgan has announced he is leaving his Talk TV daily evening show less than 2 years after its launch to focus on his YouTube channel. That doesn't even sound right. Listen, YouTube is great when you're on the ascent or when this is where you want to be. Some people enjoy it, like myself. I enjoy having a channel. It's a great hobby for me, but I have a whole life and income outside of this. And so it's just a great hobby, and this is what it is. So when other opportunities come, it is on a case-by-case basis. But there are some people who use YouTube as an amazing jumping place or a starting place for their ascent, like Issa Rae. Someone we've talked about. Several other creators have started on YouTube so that you can see their talent and their work and what they do, and it helps you get seen. But if you've already reached the peak of a certain industry, to now be on YouTube, it is, in my opinion, a descent. The Piers Morgan Uncensored channel has grown to 2.3 million subscribers since 2022. He described the channel as having a startup mentality and said the change would allow for longer interviews with bigger guests supported by more clips. Some of the interviews will be shown on Talk TV. Tom Harrington, head of television for Enders Analysis, the media research company, told The Times, quote, "There is such a disparity between the figures that he generates online and what he gets on Talk TV. It is just out of kilter with his profile, the high production values, and all the money spent promoting the show. I also think he was a walking, talking lawsuit waiting to happen on Talk TV, and we've been talking about what that lawsuit might be eventually. But I do think being on YouTube, being that they do harbor a lot of hate, he would find a much happier home here. I would be surprised if he didn't get on Rumble. Quote, most of the exposure to his interviews is from the 2-minute clips, which work much better than burying him down the TV guide with 100 channels above it, which makes it difficult to find. Morgan said, quote, it's clear there's a huge global demand for the content we're making, but the commitment to a daily show at a fixed schedule with all the editing and time sensitivities that involves has been an increasingly unnecessary straitjacket. I have something else that you could do with that straitjacket. He added, people are watching the content on YouTube rather than conventional television, and I have no problem with that. You can't defy audiences or tell them how they should be consuming. I could happily interview Elon Musk for 3 or 4 hours tomorrow and the audience would lap it up. But the nightly restriction of having to go into a studio at 8 p.m. when sometimes there's nothing happening and literally fill time, nobody wants that. The question becomes, why do it? That is a lot of fluff. Sure, that's a lot of reasons. Why not? Dude, you were on Talk TV. You've been on CNN. You should not be focusing on YouTube. That is just my opinion. Now, I do understand the benefits of YouTube because, I have my own channel, so I get it. But again, seeing the types of heights that he's seen in his career, it just makes me feel like there's a lot more coming down the pipeline. And this was not as much his choice or his preference as he wants us to believe. And I also feel like YouTube is trying to clean house and make space for not only him, but audiences that follow people like him, because we've been seeing them. So I'm interested in what you have to say and what you think about this. Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat below. Now, bear with me as I have one more messy topic to get into. But this one is not as surprising as some of the other ones that we've talked about today. However, I'm a little shocked it's so brazen. Pardon my choice of words. But the title of this article, embrace yourself. The title of this article is Prince William slammed for praising Kate Middleton's Filipino nurses. He made their race a focal point. The headline covered it, but I have words. And this was written by Francesca Baccardi, and it was published to page 6, but let's just get the story. Prince William is being slammed online for praising Kate Middleton's Filipino nurses, with social media users stating their ethnicity is irrelevant. During one of his first public appearances since the Princess of Wales returned home from the hospital, allegedly, following abdominal surgery, allegedly, the Prince of Wales honored a woman named Patricia Spruce with a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, an MBE, on Wednesday. Quote, what an amazing experience. The castle was just breathtaking. Everyone was so lovely, lovely too. Let me pause this. Everyone was so lovely too. Lovely to us, as we were just in awe of everything, Spruce wrote in a public LinkedIn post. Prince William said that Catherine had 2 Filipino nurses looking after her, and they were amazing and kind. It's giving, I want you to meet my Black friend. It's just, how did he not feel the weight of that coming off his tongue? How did that pass whatever barriers are in place in his mind? How did that pass those barriers to reach his mouth? From the depths of the heart, the mouth will speak. Royal watchers were quick to put William on blast for involving the nurse's ethnic background. Quote, like, what does their race have anything to do with it? Thank you, whoever that reader was. Y'all need to be citing the people y'all get these tweets from. It is very important to know Kate's nurses were Filipino. Why? Hell if I know, ask Will, wrote another. He made their race a focal point in a room full of white people. Yeah. It's very telling who was included in Archie's complexion debacle, the second ex-user continued, referencing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's claims that royal family members had questioned their son's skin color. William said Kate had 2 Filipino nurses. Why was it important to say they were Filipino nurses as opposed to just nurses? Like, right, why is there like a caveat? I don't get that. The future monarch also had his defenders, with some praising him for specifying the nurse's ethnicity. I love how Filipino nurses and medical workers have always been known to be amazing worldwide, tweeted a Filipino citizen. Page 6 is so messy. I hope, though, that they need not go abroad to earn an amount they deserve. They are extremely underpaid here. Wrote another, Filipino nurses are kind and very caring. They are the best in field, in my opinion, and very protective. So glad about this as I have a lot of Filipino friends and their food is delicious. Listen to I literally just said, this feels like when people say, this is my Black friend. Like, does she fill a quota, or do you have to have check, gay friend, check, Black friend, check, government friend, check, legal friend, check? Like, is it a checklist of like, I want my friend group to be diverse because aesthetics? Like, what is that? What is that? And then one of the people who vouched for him says, I have plenty of Filipino friends and they have great food. Like, first of all, if you have to give reasons that someone is great and you use their race as the starting point for that conversation, it's almost like you're saying, I know what you already believe about this person, but let me tell you why they're not like the others. All of it's racist. All of it is racist. It is not okay to identify someone solely by their race. People are people. Even in the compliments, that is racist. When people say, oh, I love Black grandmothers. Have you met all Black grandmothers? When I become a grandmother, I will be a Black grandmother, and I'm going to make it my mission to not be a good Black grandmother. No, all jokes aside, like, people are people. Good, bad, indifferent. It doesn't matter their race. It doesn't matter their ethnicity. People are people, which is why you should not judge people based on their ethnicity or their race or any other thing of that nature. And you should get to know people as people. You should get to know professionals as professionals. It doesn't make them any more or any less professional based on their race. So why is it a focal point? Also, it's giving very much plantation vibes. I have seen how a lot of rich, wealthy, privileged people will hire only staff who are non-white to work for them. I need you to know that's also racist, because the relationship you have to people who are unlike yourself is when they are in servitude to you. In the same way you shouldn't discriminate because someone is of a certain race, you should not also only hire them because they are of a certain race. Because why are you more comfortable giving demands to a person who is unlike yourself? Why is your family white and your whole staff Black? Why is your family white and your whole staff is Hispanic? You remember when that girl, Osborne, you know the one, Kelly Osborne, when they were debating about Trump on The View, and that woman cocked her head and cocked her eye and perked her hand and said, well, Trump, if you deport all the Mexicans, who's gonna clean your toilets? While we're talking about two very different careers and two different races and two different people making egregious comments, I need you to know the racism that enabled both of them is the same. It's the same. Because why are you grouping an entire race of people for any reason? All Filipino nurses are not great. All Filipino nurses are not bad. All Black grandmothers are not excellent. All Black people, all Black maids are not excellent or not bad. You cannot group a group of people, you cannot group a race of people into any kind of description. Like that's racist, whether you want to describe them as good or bad. It's racist. Like, if I tell you how many polite ways and PC ways I've heard people meet quota in their corporate companies, and they say it in such a way, it's like, we really want to diversify right after they hire somebody Black. So did you hire me because it diversified your staff? And aesthetically, it made you look good? It made you look down with the people? Or did you hire me because I'm very much a skilled person? I am very much an educated person. I will absolutely add value to your organization. And that value is not because I'm Black. That value is because I came here and I'm competent, and I'm going to blow you out of the water with the work I can do, with my skill level, with my education, not because I'm Black, not because I'm a woman. I've literally had people say, it's great for us to have diversity. I'm so glad you're here. Listen, I'm nobody's token. And what Prince William just did was tokenize. It's literally It's a literal branch of racism. And in the same way that you shouldn't say, oh, I don't hire Filipino nurses, you shouldn't say, oh, she's doing great with her Filipino nurses. Why can't they just be nurses? Why do you have to qualify them in that way? Why can't they just be nurses? Is it that you can't see the professional beyond their complexion? Is it that you don't know how to recognize a human? Is it that you have to say, okay, you guys, I'm having a maintenance person come over. They're white. Okay. Why did I need to know that? Like, what? It's the same reasons why in a restaurant, hostesses are taught not to identify someone by their race or their gender. You identify every person as a person or a child, and you do not call them anything other than that. If you have to acknowledge someone and you want to point to a specific person, you'll say the person in the red shirt next to the door, the child with the backpack that looks like a Furby. You wouldn't say the black kid in the corner. First of all, when people speak about other races, you can hear and feel the energy. You can hear, because I've actually had that experience where, as a hostess at Carino's, one of the waitresses who got fired made a comment and was like, "Oh, it looks like a black table is coming up. Don't seat them with me." First of all, "Don't seat them with me" was the comment that got her terminated, because I told it. But also, the black table, first of all of these tables in here are oak wood. These are brown. What she was saying was, don't seat that table, these black customers, which is already bad in and of itself. But why are you looking at the customers as, oh, these are not just customers, these are black customers? Stop qualifying or disqualifying people. Just see people. In the same way that people love saying, I don't see color, which is also racist. You can see color, but you should not use color to qualify or disqualify someone or something. Why didn't they just get called nurses? Why did you need us to know they're Filipino? Now, I'm gonna tell you what he was trying to do, and it blew up in his face because his heart wasn't in the right place. If his heart was in the right place, he would have known better. But what he was trying to do was remind us, see, diversity. And no, because if you're only acknowledging them because they are Filipino, did you hire them for the right reasons? And why did we need to know that they were Filipino? I'm sure there are many amazing nurses. And guess what? Many of those nurses are probably Filipino. Many of those nurses are probably white. Many of those nurses are probably Hispanic or Asian or African or American or Black or what have you. Guess what? Nurses are professionals. And what you should be acknowledging about the nurse in your home or in your hospital room or in your clinic is whether or not they do the job. I guarantee this. If you needed life-saving surgery, well, I don't know. Prince William is egregious, so I could be wrong. But if you needed life-saving surgery, I'm pretty sure you're not going to lay on that bed and as the anesthesiologist is putting you out, say, wait a minute, is my doctor Black? Like, no, you're going to take the surgery because you're trusting the professional. You're trusting the person doing the job. So why are you qualifying or disqualifying them based on race? It's all racist. Even when you say, I love having Black friends. Well, girl, I have plenty of friends, some of whom are Black, and some of them were not that great. Because people are people, and people should be allowed to be people, good or bad. Why are you grouping everyone up? It's tokenism, it's racism, and it's racist. And Prince William has proved yet again he is racist. If he's not, explain this comment. And for the fake deranger who pretended to be a Filipino citizen and wrote that tweet so that Page Six could pick it up, and I wouldn't be shocked if Page Six did it themselves, you've been warned. You've been warned. Don't do stuff like that. Anyway, Kate Middleton returned home, allegedly, from the London clinic at the end of January after nearly a 2-week stay, while she isn't expected to be seen in public until around Easter. A report claimed she's resumed some of her duties from bed. Has anybody gotten an email from Kate? And you know what? Anybody can send an email. Has anybody seen Kate? Now, the sources are always leaking stuff. We know that. So some of those palace sources, now is the time to leak a photo of Kate. Go ahead and do it. You have our permission this time. We want to see a photo of Kate, unfortunately. Is she okay? Secondly, the paparazzi knew Prince Harry's flight schedule and were waiting with bated breath for him to leave the airport. Do you know how hard it is to be a paparazzi at the airport? They were waiting for him at the airport. They followed him everywhere he went the entire time he was in the UK. Wasn't even in the UK a full 24 hours, and they were everywhere he was, looking for him, looking out for him, trying to find him, taking pictures of him in the back of a car. But y'all didn't see Kate Middleton leave the hospital. You didn't even get photos of her going to the hospital other than that video on December 28th, and we don't know who was in the back of that car. You didn't get photos of her arriving home. No photos of her family visiting her at either place, hospital or home. Where is that lady? Let me know. Anyway, what do y'all think about this? I mean, honestly, I know what you're going to say. The same thing we always say about Prince William. He has some issues with race. Now, I don't know the man, I can't call him racist, but this is racist. Acknowledging only the nurses because they're Filipino, like, it's just weird. It's just weird. People are people. People are people, and I do not like that. I used to be on a drill team, and I was the only Black girl on a drill team for a long time, and people would say, "Oh, you're the Black dancer, right?" I'm a dancer, and I'm Black. I don't know if I'm the Black dancer. I'm just a member of the dance team. Now, am I the best member of the dance team? Yes. That's not because I'm Black, although I'm pretty sure it helps with rhythm. But my issue is you should not be identifying people because of their race and based on their race. You need to see people for the profession that they hold and for the type of humanity that they have. You need to be able to see, or the type of character that they have. You need to be able to see their humanity. Doesn't seem like Prince William is able to do that. It's very shocking coming from the mother that he comes from, but also it's not shocking coming from the father that he comes from. So we know who took what from whom. I just wanted to take a super short break to say, if you have not already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you are interested, feel free to participate in the live chat going on now, or feel free to leave a comment if you do not wish to engage in the live chat. Once again, I know I do this all the time. I'm enjoying a channel, I'm enjoying the video, I'm just having a great time, and I completely forget to hit subscribe. So please don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to comment if you wish, and please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button so that the algorithm on YouTube knows that you like my content. Now, let's get back to the show. Do you remember Vee Kativhu? We talked about her when she appeared in the Diana Award video alongside Prince Harry. Well, she is the founder of Empowered by Vee. She also recently won an award, and since we've talked about her before, I wanted us to share in the honor and congratulate her. She also has a YouTube channel that I am subscribed to and is linked below in the description box if you are not already following her. She has a lot of amazing and empowering content, and she's an education advocate. So for people who are not familiar with Vee, I just wanted to give a little bit of information about her bio and share a little bit more about her and the award she just received. Empowered by Vee was founded and is run by Congratulation Kativhu. She goes by Vee. She's a 23-year-old author, education activist, and empowerment YouTuber. Vee is also an Oxford University BA graduate and a Harvard University Master of Education graduate. Before attending university, Vee had always aspired to attend a Russell Group University, but did not feel as well equipped to do so due to coming from an underrepresented and lower socioeconomic background. After gaining admission into Oxford through the Pioneering Foundation year at Lady Margaret Hall, she launched her YouTube channel to share her story and provide the empowerment to other students that she felt she has lacked. Her channel, which has amassed over 250,000 students globally, quickly became a student resource for applying to university and also a source of inspiration and motivation for those students already at university who came from similar backgrounds. As well as sharing study tips, Vee spoke candidly about her fears of navigating space as a young Black woman from a lower socioeconomic background, the issues of a lack of diversity and lack of support in underfunded schools. The growth of her channel inspired her to launch Empowered by Vee, an academic empowerment platform that bridges the gap between self-belief and academic ability. Vee firmly believes that there is an abundance of intelligent young people who are slipping through the system due to a lack of support, empowerment, and community. Now, again, she appeared in the video for the Diana Award alongside Prince Harry, so many of you know her from there, but she recently won an award herself. Vee recently posted about her award on Twitter, and so I'm going to be reading from her thread because she gave a lot of really great information there. Again, if you are not following Vee Kativhu on Twitter, feel free to do so. All of her socials are linked in the description box below. An award and letter from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Whoa, I'm not sure how this happened, but dear Prime Minister, I am profoundly honored and humbled to receive the Points of Light Award 2024 directly from your office at 10 Downing Street. This recognition for Empowered by Vee significantly highlights our efforts to enhance access to higher education for students from underrepresented, unsupported, and lower socioeconomic backgrounds, a journey deeply personal to me. I wish I could just say thank you, but how can I? While expressing my deepest gratitude for this accolade in true activist mode, I find it imperative to leverage this occasion to advocate further for the cause that has merited this award. Yours sincerely, Vee Kativhu, 25-year-old education activist, young leader at the United Nations, and director of Empowered by Vee. We are experiencing the largest education crisis in modern history. Despite the UK's commendable advocacy for education rights, notably for girls, the stark reduction in education aid spending by 68% between 2019 and 2022 calls for immediate attention and rectification. Yet, with over 250 million children worldwide deprived of schooling, the reduction in the UK's funding for global education presents a paradox to our shared objectives. In this light, I urge the UK government and all political entities to reaffirm their commitment. Hope you can view this award as inspiration to prioritize inclusive educational policies that address the needs of the most marginalized young people, both domestically and globally. Echoing your words, Prime Minister, education is the closest thing we have to a silver bullet. It's a powerful tool that promises brighter futures for young individuals often sidelined. Congratulations yet again, Vee. You deserve that award, and I'm so proud of you and everything that you're doing. I cannot wait to see what new heights you will continue to ascend to. She's doing such great work, and I hope it does serve as an inspiration to students who have lower socioeconomic backgrounds, but also to people who have the means to actually lend a helping hand and to help those students. We can all do our part in helping everyone have the opportunity to get an education. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I just want to say thank you so much to the 216 people who signed my petition to advocate for YouTube to deploy safer messaging practices and an encrypted messaging tool behind the scenes for creators and the platform to settle disputes. The petition is linked in the description box below. I also just realized I didn't include the David Sherborne video, so I am going to include that here as I say goodbye to you, and then we are going to get out of here. So if you want to stick around to see the video of David Sherborne reading Prince Harry's statement after yet another win, please feel free to do so. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who watches my channel, who subscribed to my channel, and who shares. Those of you who are on Patreon, I truly appreciate it. And thank you so much to my moderators and my members for supporting the channel. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Mirror Group's acceptance of the remainder of his claim and their agreement to pay substantial additional damages to him as well as his costs. I'll now read that statement on his behalf. After our victory in December, Mirror Group have finally conceded the rest of my claim, which would have consisted of another 2 trials, additional evidence, and 115 more articles. Everything we said was happening at Mirror Group was in fact happening, and indeed far worse, as the court ruled in his extremely damaging judgment. As the judge has said only this morning, we have uncovered and proved the shockingly dishonest way in which the Mirror acted for so many years and then sought to conceal the truth. In light of this, we call again for the authorities to uphold the rule of law and to prove that no one is above it. That includes Mr. Morgan, who as editor knew perfectly well what was going on as the judge held. Even his own employer realised it simply could not call him as a witness of truth at the trial. His contempt for the court's ruling and his continued attacks ever since demonstrate why it was so important to obtain a clear and detailed judgment. As I said back in December, our mission continues. I believe in the positive change it will bring for all of us. It's the very reason why I started this and why I will continue to see it through to the end. Thank you very much.